John chapter 5, highlights and reflections. I take several slow, deep breaths as I bring my attention to Jesus inside of me. Starting with verse 6, Jesus, upon seeing this man lying there, and knowing that he had already been in that condition for a long time, said to him, "Do you want to get well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred. But while I'm coming, another steps down before me." Jesus said to him, "Pick up your pallet and walk." Immediately the man became well and picked up his pallet and began to walk. Now it was Sabbath on that day, so the Jews were saying to the man who was cured, "It is a Sabbath, and it is not permissible for you to carry your pallet." But he answered them, "Who made me well was the one who said to me, 'Pick up your pallet and walk.'" They asked him, "Who is this man who said to you, 'Pick it up and walk'?" But the man who was healed did not know who Jesus was, for Jesus had slipped away while there was a crowd in that place. Afterward, Jesus found him in the temple and said to him, "Behold, you've become well. Do not sin anymore so that nothing worse happens to you." The man went away and informed the Jews that it was Jesus who had made him well. Jesus, may I stop sinning, defending and betraying you with my pride, so that something worse does not happen. I'm sorry, and I receive your forgiveness. I ask you to soften my heart. Now in verse 18 it says, "For this reason, therefore, the Jews were seeking all the more to kill him, because he was not only breaking the Sabbath, but also was calling God his Father, making himself equal with God." Then in 21, "For just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, so the Son of Man also gives life to whom he wishes." And 24 says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, the one who hears my word and believes him who sent me, has eternal life, and does not come into judgment, but is passed out of death into life." Jesus, help me believe. Praise you that I do not have to come into judgment. I'm nothing apart from you, total destruction. You have already passed me out of death into life. And then verse 25 says, "A time is coming, and even now has arrived, when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. For just as the Father has life in himself, so he gave to the Son also to have life in himself." Jesus, may I be yours. I give myself to you as you have given yourself to me. In my deadness, I hear your voice and live. Now 31 says, "If I alone testify about myself, my testimony is not true. There is another who testifies about me, and I know that the testimony which he gives about me is true. You have sent messengers to John, and he has testified to the truth. But the testimony I receive is not from man, but I say these things so that you may be saved. He was the lamp that was burning and shining, and you were willing to rejoice for a while in his light. But the testimony I have given is greater than the testimony of John. But the testimony I have is greater than the testimony of John, for the works which the Father has given me to accomplish, the very works that I do testify about me. And the Father who sent me, he has testified about me. You have neither heard his voice at any time nor seen his form. Also, you do not have his word remaining in you, because you do not believe in him whom he sent. You examine the scriptures because you think that in them you have eternal life. And it is those very scriptures that testify about me. And yet you are unwilling to come to me so that you may have life. I do not receive glory from people, but I know you, that you do not have the love of God in yourselves. And then in 44, how can you believe when you accept glory from one another, and you do not seek the glory that is from the one and only God? Do not think that I will accuse you before the Father. The one who accuses you is Moses, in whom you've put your hope. For if you believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how will you believe my words? Jesus, I know that the testimony that you give about me is true. I am willing and longing to come to you for more life. May I pursue your glory, not receive human glory. Praise you. I love you. Help me not to stay stuck and unwilling in the moment.